Oh, no. One glove. There's number 2. Who does number 2 work for? What's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? Boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. Start your engines. You ever think about, if you were to be the Grand Marshal of a race, how would you do the command? I can tell you, mine would be more Kevin James / ridiculous whatnot breaker than my normal dexterity. I feel like if you're given the task of giving the command to fire engines, you gotta bring it, right? You gotta bring the energy. It can't be a start your engines. You know, it's got to be a, I mean, you got to really put some oomph behind it. You got to make your lungs know that you're doing it. Paul Heyman, yes, Paul Heyman style. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. If you're going to do it, right? Let them know you're there. I'd do it in Paul Heyman style. You got to give your name, too. My name is... And then give the command. Yeah, if you're gonna be tasked with that, you gotta bring the energy. All right, here's our list for tonight. I'm missing some payments from a couple of folks: JJ, Larry, and Brian Kessler on this list. And then, of course, all the other blanks. I know it's kind of tough because we've got several that are unpaid, so it's a little tough to distinguish. But for the duck race, we've got Almirola, Brad Kozlowski, Carl Edwards, Cole Custer, Connor Mozak, Jamie McMurray, Jeff Burton, Jesse Love, John Hunter, Josh Williams, Justin Haley, Kurt Busch, Michael McDowell, Nick Sanchez, and Parker Retzlaff. Quite a few. You got a couple former champions, several former Cup Series winners. Somebody in that filler is going to hit something. I would bet on it. All right, and then here is our duck race lineup for the filler. All spots are paid for on that one except for Melvin Stammons. Melvin's the only one that hasn't paid there. So let's get this show on the road. 17 ducks in the pond, 45 seconds on the clock. Let's shuffle her up. And good luck, everybody. I got to remember to turn the volume up on that. I don't know how it got turned down. I know it's probably not a huge deal, but you got to get the full effect. Surround sound with those ducks. Let them quack in your ear for a minute. Duck 1 on the outside making a move, while duck 15 on the inside is looking steady Eddie. Somebody in the middle, oh, it could be 2 in a row for Lucky 13. Duck 13 won the last duck race. It is. Lucky 13 takes it home again. That's 2 in a row for Duck 13. That's going to go to Storm Ghost tonight. Congrats, Storm Ghost. So just like the last break where, I can't remember who it was. But just like the last break, whoever it was that had the unlisted spot also ended up with the duck race. Same thing tonight. Storm Ghost is going to have a boatload of drivers because Storm Ghost not only has the unlisted spot tonight, but also the filler spot. So probably 30 drivers, if I'm being honest. So Storm Ghost is going to have a great shot at something. It was Storm Ghost last time too? Oh, I think you're right. Yeah, you are right. And Storm Ghost had 1 spot in it. Well, hey, you know what? You know what they say, you ride that till they buck you, right? So, congrats, Storm Ghost. Making that number 13 duck work. All right, here we go. I can't remember, and I can't cheat and look over at the desk because I already shipped those cards out. All the folks that had hits from that break, those have all shipped. So, I can't even look over and cheat. Duck race leaderboard. Maybe when we turn the calendar over. I don't know, Chris. That would be fun to track though. Maybe when we turn the calendar over to 2026, I'll try to create a sheet where I can keep tabs on who's won the duck races. That would be easy to just put a name and a tick mark beside and track it. That wouldn't be too hard to do. That would be kind of fun. So maybe for the start of the year, we'll do that. 158 of 299, red, Darrell Waltrip. DW going to Kale. Optic C. Bell. Unleashed Chase Elliott. Red Velocity Bill Elliott. Optic going to Brian. 62 out of 199 for Bill. And first hit, Tommy Joe Martins for the unlisted spot. So Storm Ghost is on the board right away. How many breaks? I have no idea, Chris. No idea. Spellbound, Jeff Gordon, D. Red and Blue, Brennan Queen. Every year, so, you know, our 5th anniversary is coming up in October. And every year we've done more and more. Red and Blue, Riley Herbst. So the first, especially that first 6 months to a year, you know, it was like one break every 14 to 21 days. So it was pretty slow going for quite a while. And then, man, when we started to take off, boy, we just never looked back. Red and Blue, Ryan Preece. Optic Hollow, Todd Gilliland. Corey Heim, Coming Attractions. I was looking through some of the stuff that I've got for the 5th anniversary break. It's going to be a fun little break for sure. Probably not a little break. It's going to be a fun, bigger break. Red and Blue, Lane Riggs. Luke Fenhouse, Green Velocity Optic Rated Rookie. That'll go to Storm Ghost as well. 94 and 99. Unleashed Corey Heim. If you guys remember, I will tell you the one thing that everybody knew about that I've been saving for that 5th anniversary break is I still have a box of 24 Prism first off the line. So when we get to that, that'll be one of the boxes in that break for sure. I've been saving it just for that. Season highlights, Kyle Larson. Nick Sanchez. Oh, we did it again. 1 out of 10. Gold Ice. Dialed in. Shane Van Gisbergen. Gold Ice. Holy smokes. We just pulled a short print in the last break, the 25, for Nick. And now we go gold. Chris, it's in October. I don't remember the exact date. I haven't even looked. I'll have to go back and look it up. It's late in October. Somewhere around the 20 to 25th. We'll shoot for something close to it, but we're not probably going to be the exact date. Because it'll probably be done on a Sunday when most people are off and able to watch. Sheesh. Well, that doesn't suck. Not even a little bit. Red and Blue, Taylor Gray. Carson Quapple, Optic. Spellbound, Junior, letter R. Boy, SVG might be hot in this break. 157 to 199. Going to Will. Here, let's put him up there. It's kind of an SVG sort of a break. Race Kings, Ryan Blaney. Hey, Robert. How's it going, man? purple. Michael McDowell, 7 out of 99. He goes through the filler to Storm Ghost. Got a Spellbound letter D, 79 and 99 with the explosion, Jeff Gordon. And that goes to Gavin. Finally caught alive. Heck yeah, man. That helmet you got is awesome. I have one. Ty Dillon, red and blue. Austin Dillon. Suited up Sammy Smith on the fire suit, going to Kale Larson. For all of you guys who, for anybody that likes to grade with PSA or has been sending stuff in for PSA, our next submission is due by the end of the month. And I do have 2 submissions that are in final assembly now that we've been waiting on for several months. So we're probably going to get 2 submissions back almost on top of each other. Unleashed Connor Zilic. So I'm just waiting for them to go through the final Q&A and ship them. Lawless Allen, red and blue. Black Velocity, Kevin Harvick. That's going to go to Will Blackman. 29 of 39. Spellbound Zilic, letter Z. Haley Deegan, red and blue. I also bought a small lot of graded PSA cards from a friend of mine in Florida. He is not a NASCAR person. He actually owns a card shop. And so he was like, hey, man, I got these slabs that somebody brought in and they sold them to us as part of a larger deal. And he goes, I thought of you first. And so we were able to work out a deal, and I've got, I think it's like 29 PSA slabs coming from him. So when I get those, I'll also do a video and open those with you all and show you what I bought. And of course, a lot of them will be available. Spellbound Connor Zilic, letter C. Probably not in the reveal video. Probably won't try to do any kind of selling of them at that point. I'd just like to go through them, but there'll be a bunch of them available for sure. Spellbound A for Kyle Larson. I think there was 5 that I plan to keep for my PC, and then the rest will be. There's some nice stuff in that lot, too. A lot of 10s and 9s. I think there was only 1 8. Red and blue BK. Kyle Busch, Race Kings. Suarez, red and blue. So we're going to see a lot of PSA stuff in the coming, probably, I would say in the next 2 weeks, you're going to see probably 3 different openings of PSA stuff. Luke Fenhouse on the Holo Optic rated rookie. And that gets us to the end of box 1. Can't complain about an SVG Gold Ice Auto. That's for sure. Did I say yeah, Scott. Yeah, I was just telling everybody that I've got 2 PSA orders that are on the way. They're both in final assembly now. Our 2 oldest orders are in final assembly, which would have been, I think, ones that went out in May and June. And then I was also telling everybody that I bought a PSA lot off of somebody, and I should have those probably Monday or Tuesday. He shipped them yesterday, so yeah, they've taken their sweet old time, and I'll have a story. I don't want to get into it now because I want to show you guys when I have the cards in hand, but I'll have a story with the oldest PSA submission from May. Part of the reason why that one got held up is my fault, but it'll be easier to explain why when I have the cards here and can show you, and everybody will get it. But the long and the short of it is PSA did the right thing. Even though it took longer, PSA did the right thing. So I give them credit for sure. All right. Got a blue J-Mac 140 of 199. And again, to put a bow on the PSA stuff, our next PSA submission, everything's due by the end of the month. So if you guys have stuff you want to send, J-Mac goes to Storm Ghost. And I'll remind everybody, it can be any sport. It doesn't have to be NASCAR. If you've got other sports that you want to send, feel free to do so. I sent a couple of wrestling cards in our most recent submission that just went out. Purple Velocity Optic, Jesse Love. 48 of 59. That's going to go to Storm Ghost. And then we got 86 out of 99 on the suited up Kaz Grala. That should go to Larry. Yeah, Larry. Larson N. Dale Jr. red and blue. C. Bell Unleashed. Connor Zillich. Optic. Red and blue Larson. Hollow Optic Daniel Dye. Sheldon Creed. Coming Attractions. Oh, that's nice. 4 out of 8. I know that's pretty bright, but I want you guys to be able to see the serial. 4 of 8. Black border, Kyle Busch. That's nice. Brian Jacobs has Kyle Busch. Congrats, Brian. 2 boxes, 2 SSPs. You know, right before we started the break, I had like 3 mags on the shelf behind me, and I was like, I should probably grab some more. Maybe we'll need them. Well, I hope I was right. I hope we need a whole stack. That's nice. 4 of 8 going to Brian. Congrats, Brian. This bottom right corner is just ever so slightly soft, and it's because that the black border You know, anytime you have a black border card, it's tough. But it's in pretty nice shape. And then we got a red optic velocity rated rookie, Connor Zilic. Don't sleep on that. That's not a cheap card. Going to Zach Brewer, 120 of 199. I know a lot of times we're used to thinking these higher serial number cards aren't worth much. I'm telling you. Look up what Connor Zilic stuff's selling for. I know we've had several sales privately where cards have changed hands and some pretty significant dollar amounts. So I'm not going to say exactly because I don't want to air out anybody's information or business, but strong market for Connor Zilic. Signature Series, Casey Kane. Nice. That's going to go to Dale. Casey's now essentially a crew chief. He's not currently driving. He's basically crew chiefing. I think he wanted to just maybe I don't know if crew chief is the correct term because I don't know that he's actually doing that role, but I think maybe he just wanted to be an owner, which is quite all right. Travel the country, go to races, and just enjoy it. He's earned that right for sure. Daniel Dye Optic. Coming attractions, 69 out of 199. Sheldon Creed. That'll go to JJ. Red Austin Cindric, 243 of 299. Cindric goes to Will Black. Dale Jr. Letter R. I was packing cards this afternoon around lunchtime to ship, and then of course I went out and mowed grass. But while I was packing cards, I like to try to find stuff on YouTube to watch while I'm working on sorting or packing. So I pulled up YouTube, and Dale Jr. and Amy were live on Amy's Bless Your Heart page doing Ask Amy. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll watch that, you know. And it was fun to listen to and them talk about just different stuff. And I'm watching that thinking Panini should do an Amy Earnhardt card. Like, as huge as she's gotten in our community, I know we've talked about other, like, doing crew chiefs, but I swear they could do some cards with, like, they could do an insert set with the racers' wives, and I'm telling you, people would go nuts for those. If you had a set that had Samantha Bush and Caitlin Larson and Amy Earnhardt and, you know, just all those, Ryan Blaney's wife, I can't think of her name. G starts with a G. That would be super cool. I think a lot of people would like that. 171 of 299. Red Chandler Smith. Going to Jonathan Heitzman. Spellbound, 11 out of 99. Dale Jr. But you could do a set of like 6 or 8 of the most popular wives And people would love that. Junior going to Storm Ghost. It would be something very different, fun. Burning Rubber Dale Jr. going to Storm Ghost. Spellbound O, Jeff Gordon. Caden Honeycutt on the red. And Austin Beers, 56/199, blue rated rookie, goes to Chris Bonnet. Hollow Optic Zane Smith. Red and blue Jimmy. Optic Lane Riggs. Another Filla. Junior A. Red and blue Noah Gregson. Ooh, this one's got a little bit of a whammo down here on the bottom. It's like a crease on the bottom of that. Optic Silver Hollow Bubba goes to Paul. You can probably get a replacement if you need. I think you probably already have one of these, but if you don't and you need one, you can probably send that in for a replacement. I wouldn't think that would be too hard to get replaced. Unleashed William Sawalich. Red and blue Willie B. John Hunter. J-Mac, red and blue. Just to bring everybody in on the loop on what my plan is for this weekend. The schedule's posted. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. But Saturday night will be the next break. Of course, we've got a Saturday night race this weekend. Red and blue SVG. So we'll do a break Saturday night to coincide with the race. And that'll be just a 2-box National Treasures, pick your driver. Chandler Smith, Hollow Optic. And then on Sunday, I'll get back to that. 4 out of 10. Gold Ice Spellbound, Dale Jr. Nice. That one's going to go to Storm Ghost. There's our 3 mags that I started the night with before I reloaded my shelf. Like I said, I hope we have to use them all. I got another 6 or 7 up there. I hope we use them all tonight. I hope I got to go get more off the other shelf. 3 boxes, 3 SSPs, and none of them suck. Gold Ice Junior to 10. Mercy. Here, let's do this. Let's do this. There you go. Yeah. Let me grab a quick drink. Actually, that's only 2 boxes. 3 SSPs and 2 boxes. Pardon me. My mistake. I'm going to open some penny sleeves, too, while we're at it. So congrats, Storm Ghost, on the junior. That's nice. So what I was getting at, though, is next break Saturday night, National Treasures 2-box break, coincides with the race. Sunday is our traditional. We normally do a break on Sunday. We're going to stick to that. It'll be posted Sunday a little bit later, though. I think 6:30 is what I'm shooting for Sunday night. And Sundays will be a bigger mixer. I think I got 9 boxes for the mixer on Sunday. And that'll include some Donruss. It'll include National Treasures. It'll include Prism from both 2023 and 2024. So, some blasters. So, Sunday's mixer is going to be pretty fun. But what I was getting at is, my plan for the shipping is, because shipping's included with your autos and relics tonight. And, of course, when we do the National Treasures break on Saturday, all the cards in that break, shipping will be included. Sunday, because it's a bigger mixer, and there's going to be a lot more hits, shipping won't be included on Sunday's break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to ship everything from tonight's break and Saturday. Obviously, I can't ship on Sunday anyway. But I'm going to hold everything from tonight and hold everything from Saturday till after Sunday night's break. And then whoever had hits and had shipping, I'll get everything shipped out to you guys on Monday. But that'll help you kind of piggyback onto some shipping for anybody that was, owed it and then jumps in Sunday's break. Hopefully that made sense. If that didn't make sense, just message me and I'll try to make better sense, but it makes sense in my head. So who wins this race, SVG or Dale Jr.? Well, it's not a road course, so probably not SVG. 91 out of 299. Red, Jeremy Clements. Going to Kevin Bennett. Ryan Priest, red and blue. And Chase Briscoe, red Velocity Optic. Going to Troy. 112 out of 199. And we got suited up Sam Mayer. Belongs to Lewis. Richard Petty. Letter T. Red and blue, Ty Dillon. Unleashed, Jeff Gordon. Caden Honeycutt, Optic, rated rookie. Red and blue, Lawless Allen. Hollow, Christian Rose. Junior, letter A. Taylor Gray, red and blue. Optic green, Chandler Smith. Going to Jonathan Heitzman. 32 of 99. Connor Zilich, Unleashed. I'm really curious to see if we end up getting Select on time, because that's supposed to be at the end of this month, in like, I think 2 weeks from this past Wednesday, so about a week and a half from now. 12 out of 199, Caden Honeycutt, blue rated rookie, goes to Thomas Jones. I think it's 2 weeks from yesterday is when it's supposed to be out. So we'll see. I think we got our auto here. Ryan Blaney and Casey Kane with the daily double. Optic silver autograph. We got the signature series and then the optic hollow silver going to Dale. Congrats, Dale. Quite a break with a pair of Casey Kane autos. That doesn't suck either. Spellbound, letter Z. Red and blue, Bill Elliott. $102 of 199, Spellbound T, Richard Petty. I know I've been talking a lot about the attempt at getting a trade day together, or NASCAR card trade meetup, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it a show. I want to call it more of a trade night, or a NASCAR card collectors, just NASCAR card collectors convention, or summit, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe summit's the right word. Red and blue, Matt Kenseth. But anyway, just to kind of give you guys an idea of where I'm at with it, I know that I've pretty much nailed it down to 3 prospective cities that I think will work best for this first attempt. And I think I've already mentioned it once or twice, but Cincinnati, Louisville, Kentucky, and Nashville, Tennessee are the 3 that are on my radar to try to start with. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until the NASCAR schedule comes out. And once we've got the full schedule for next year, then I'm going to try to find a weekend that makes sense. I think it would be nice if we could find a weekend where there's a Saturday night race, where maybe everybody could watch the race together while we're, doing the trade night. I think that would be fun. So I really just want to see the schedule and then pick a date from there. But again, I want it to be, the goal is to make it affordable for anybody that wants to come, because I know there's going to be some travel involved for a lot of people. But I want to make it affordable for anybody that's interested and willing to do that. So obviously whatever city we look at, the cost of the hotel, wherever that may be, is going to be a major factor as well. 76 and 99, purple Ricky Stenhouse Jr. If just to give an example, if I call a place in Cincinnati and they want $250 a night, and I can get a place in Nashville for $130 a night, then that's a no-brainer. So it's all going to be relevant, but that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. 10 out of 49, missed a door by 1. Unleashed blue explosion, Chase Elliott. That's sharp. Going to Mark Springer. Floor of his hotel. Jonathan, if I knew it was only, if I knew we were only talking about, a handful of people, we could probably get just a hotel room and do the trade night in a hotel room. But I don't know it's really going to depend on how many people say they're coming and what we're expecting, as to whether, you know, how much space I actually need. 51/99, Burning Rubber, Dale Jr. Race Kings, Chase Elliott. Red and Blue, Mikey Waltrip. Spellbound, Larson, letter L. And of course, the other thing that I'm trying to do is I'm going to try to avoid like right smack in the middle of summer, because a lot of people go on vacation. So that's also another consideration. How about a Mojo Caden Honeycutt? 1/25. First print rated rookie, Thomas Jones Jr. Nice one, Thomas. Sammy Smith, Optic Hollow. Connor Zilich, Spellbound S. Red and Blue BK. Lawless Allen, Hollow Optic. Suarez. Suarez again. Jeb Burton. Letter E, Chase. Riley Herbst, Red and Blue. Sam Mayer, Kyle Larson Unleashed. And our last few for this box. Optic Hollow, Michael McDowell. Oh, there's two there. Season Highlights Junior. And Red and Blue Butterbean Queen on the rated rookie. Move that stuff. I'm going to open my vent down here and get some AC going. I'm a little toasty. It was like 90 degrees here, and I was out mowing grass at my house and my mom's house today, and then right around dinner time, I was sitting on the couch, and I'm pretty sure my wife was like fixing our son ramen noodles. I think he wanted ramen noodles. He's on a ramen kick for whatever reason. But I swear she was making him ramen noodles, and the next thing I know, I woke up 2 hours later on the couch. Empty. But it was toasty. So I'm sure I'll be up late tonight now because I had a nap today. Messed my whole sleep schedule up. But it is what it is. MTJ or Blaney. All right, coming right up, Nate. Coming right up. Your wish is my command. Maybe. Tony B, 3 out of 99, purple. Going to Steve Teskey. What do you guys think about Natalie Decker? She's going to be back at Daytona. She said that she didn't want to be done racing when she got pregnant. She's obviously following through on that statement, which I respect. There's not been a ton of female racers anyway, but there's not been a ton that have done it after having children either. I think there's been, I don't know, half a dozen maybe over the course of the whole history of NASCAR, so not many. Red Velocity, Ross Chastain. Going to Troy, 175 of 199. Brandon Jones, 10 out of 49. Burning rubber. It'll go to Scott. Race Kings, Tyler Reddick, TR45. Red and Blue Jones. Petty Race Kings. Brent Cruz, Optic, rated rookie. Red and Blue Stenhouse. Optic Hollow, Brett Holmes. Spellbound L. Austin Dillon, 46 of 299, red. Going to Michael Clay. Larson. And then we got another Chase Elliott, 39 of 49, Race Kings, Explosion Blue. Going to Mark Springer. Red and Blue Daniel Dye. Petty. And we got Slammin' Sammy Smith, 14 out of 99. 2-color sheet metal. That belongs to Kale. You have any 2016 of anything? I guess that's a yes. I do, William. I guess I'm not sure what you're asking me, though. Singles. Are you asking about boxes? Unleashed, William Byron. It's kind of a broad. We got another gold inbound. Austin Beers. 1 out of 10. That's going to go to Chris Bonnet. Gold rated rookie. That's nice. That's well centered too. That's really nice. Going to Chris. Unopened boxes. No, William. No, I don't. '16 product. Probably the only thing you're going to find 2016 is going to be Prism. And that's about it. And you're probably only going to find retail. You're probably not going to find any Unless somebody's just hoarding stuff, which I know there's people out there that are holding boxes for an undetermined period of time. Let's set up all the golds. Sorry, Kyle, your black border just doesn't jive with everything else going here. But yeah, 16 prism, like retail fat packs is probably about the only thing you're going to find out in the market easily. Everything else is going to be just if you find somebody that's got something. Optic silver hollow Ty Gibbs. Raja Coming Attractions. Austin Hill red and blue. Spellbound Gordon. And you could say the same thing. I could say the same thing about every year. Basically all the way to 2018. Now you can find some 2018 products here and there. And especially like Donruss, but Blaney's rookie year. Yeah, it's a rookie heavy class. And don't forget, if you can find some older, I think everybody sleeps on the idea, you know, there's some older products yet that were press pass where you could argue that technically the rookies for like Blaney, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, some of those guys existed in press pass. Because there was, what was it, like the Young Guns sets? And they had autos and technically, I guess technically not a rookie, but technically could be a rookie. I guess it just depends on what you classify. But if you can find some of that old press pass stuff, you could take a shot too. You probably have better luck, honestly, trying to locate some of that than 16 products, to be honest, other than Prism. Purple Justin Allgaier. Purple Velocity Optic. Going to Jonathan Heitzman. There was 49 of 59 Allgaier. There was somebody on eBay, I don't know, almost a year ago probably, that had a box of 2016 National Treasures, and they had it listed for like $1,500. And I messaged them and, said, look, $1,500 just, you're going to end up owning that box forever. No disrespect. 129 of 299 red, Bill Elliott. Is there a reasonable price that you'd take for the box? Because I'm a breaker and I would love to include it in a mixer, but paying quadruple what the original price was isn't in my repertoire. Bill goes to Brian, and the person came back and said, nope, the price is the price. Signature Series Ernie Irvan. It was kind of like one of those, I know what I've got, don't lowball me. I said, well, you do know what you've got, but you're going to own it for a while. So, Ernie Irvan going to the unlisted spot, and Storm Ghost. We got a lot of the legends. 3 of the 4 autos, Casey Kane and Ernie Irvan. Yeah, fat packs for Prism. Correct, Scott. You're right. That's just about it. Like I said, I know of at least 1 or 2 people that like to buy boxes and cases, and they stack them in their closet and don't open them. But that's risky business. 3 of 199 Spellbound Jeff Gordon letter O. Because there's some products that just don't end up being that good, and then you're just sitting on a box that was kind of meh, Going to Gavin. So red and blue, Carson Hocevar. Zilich season highlights. Red and blue, Sawalich. BK Hollow Optic. Yes, Chris. Unleashed, Alex Bowman. Alan Kulwicki, red and blue. And Spellbound Petty, letter Y. Yeah, for sure, Scott. I've been keeping an eye out forever until you tell me, hey, I found it, which I'm sure I would know when you found it. I've been keeping my eyes out, but you know what I see often is with older product singles, once you've shuffled through, and the product's been out for a year to 18 months, then you start seeing a lot less of those singles hit the market. Because there's a new product, there's always a new thing. Jimmy Unleashed and Brent Cruz, red and blue. All right, and that gets us down to the fifth and final box. Let's see if we can get 5 for 5 on SSPs. Yeah, as a collector, there's a sweet spot for buying singles. And, you guys know, I always tell people when a new release comes out, don't feel like, don't let FOMO get you. Don't feel like you got to buy everything right away when a new product comes out. Because ultimately, you pay more, and especially that first month of a new release. Because everything's new and everything's exciting, and everybody's trying to build out their sets and their rainbows and all those things. But if you can help it, hold off for about a month, and then you'll see prices settle down a little bit. And then you got a sweet spot for about a month after the release to about 12 months, roughly. That you got about an 11 to 12 month window there where you can really build out your PC and do it fairly affordable. And then things start to trend the other way where it's harder to find them. So yeah, exactly. That's exactly right, Scott. Yeah. If you're a Prism builder, like say you're a Prism guy and you're building rainbows and sets, Scott hit the nail on the head. That's correct. Once the next Prism comes out, then the old one becomes more difficult. And I've experienced that with Donruss. You guys know I was working on those pink and black optic sets last year, and I've probably got I'm probably halfway on one and maybe just slightly shy of halfway on the other. And now I haven't really pressed the issue too hard. Like, I haven't posted a list and said, here's what I need. I've done it very nonchalantly. If I really put some strong effort into it, I could probably close it out faster if I wanted to, but it's just been one of those side projects for me. So, red and blue, Ross. Ty Dillon, purple Velocity Optic. Going to Michael Clay. 31 of 59. And Brandon Jones, pedal to the metal, 2-color, black and green, going to Scott. Spellbound S for Larson. Red and blue Jones. Race Kings. Ross. Red and blue Custer. Optic Hollow Lane Riggs. Spellbound letter G. Red and blue Kyle Weatherman. And red optic velocity Anthony Alfredo. Going to Storm Ghost. 147 of 199. Spellbound Chase Elliott L. We might have a Pandora inbound. I think I got a glimpse of Pandora. 51 of 299. Lawless Allen red goes to Storm Ghost. Suarez optic. Yeah, Pandora. Chris Buescher. That's nice. Chris Buescher going to Dale. Dale is cleaning the house tonight. Chris Buescher is not a Hendrick driver, Dale. What are you doing? You got me all confused now. He doesn't drive for Hendrick. 5 out of 25 on the short print Buescher Pandora. Man, those are nice. So nice. Unleashed Denny. Red and blue Casey Kane. Joey Logano season highlights. Austin Beers optic. It's been a really good break. I know it hasn't gone everybody's way, but man, it's been a good break overall. 66 and 99, purple Josh Berry goes to Victor. Again, it's one of those things, the only way I can determine if it's a good break in my own eyes is I have to think, if I opened these, you know, how would I feel? Man, I'd be tickled to death with, if I had opened these 5 boxes, I'd be thrilled. And honestly, Casey Kane's a PC for me. So that's, I guess, a big draw. But aside from the Casey Kanes, there's really nothing that we've pulled that would be considered my PC. So it's just good quality stuff, in my opinion. All right. Last half of a box. Like I said, no break tomorrow. Off tomorrow on Friday. Take a night off. Saturday night, we'll go racing with National Treasures on Saturday. Eric Almirola, 120 of 299 red. And I'll hit on the football thing again real quick. Almirola goes through the filler to Storm Ghost. If anybody's interested in fantasy football, but you haven't expressed that to me yet, let me know. And we can get you into our main league or one of our leagues, depending on how many people we end up with. 153-0199, Spellbound, Connor Zilich, L. Going to Zach Brewer. So fantasy football, and then going to try to do some football during football season. I think my idea is to do Monday night football breaks. That way it's consistent. Everybody knows when we're doing it. It doesn't interfere. It really doesn't interfere with what we normally do with our NASCAR breaks at all, because Monday is kind of a day that we normally don't do NASCAR breaks, typically. So, it doesn't really change anything on our schedule as far as what we normally do. And obviously it jives well with Monday Night Football. Burning Rubber, Dale Jr. Going to Storm Ghost. And I think doing football on Monday nights, and they're going to be smaller breaks. They're not going to be massive breaks. So it gives those of us that are into football cards an avenue to maybe participate in some breaks that aren't going to completely break your wallet. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people want to do case breaks and half case breaks and all this. And especially in the other sports, that's too expensive for me. Spellbound E, Dale Jr. So you'll probably see a lot of 1 and 2 box breaks on Monday nights for football. Hollow Optic Corey Heim. Dale can hold his own in a late model. Yeah. Unleashed Martin Truex Jr. Dale can hold his own in an Xfinity car. So I don't think there's any question he can. Anthony Alfredo, red and blue. Optic Hollow Riley Herbst. Petty Unleashed. Hamlin. McDowell. Junior letter H. If we were going to find another SSP, we're going to have to find it real soon. Because we're almost to the end. Raja, red and blue. William Sawalich. But man, this has been a good break for sure. Red and blue Bubba. Optic Hollow Brandon Jones. Yeah, that's just crazy stuff, yeah. Extra tire. Storm Ghost. No doubt. Race Kings Bowman. But yeah, Nate, probably when I'm looking at football breaks, we'll probably do, elite and certified, and it'll probably be boxes that fall into the maybe $300 to $400 range, where we can split those up pretty affordably. Not a lot of us spend $300 to $400 on a box of football cards, but if you can get your team in a break, then that makes more sense. So, at least for me, it does. Score, yeah, any of those. Donruss. Donruss is usually a little bit more, but absolute, anything that, anything that financially makes sense as far as a break. But we probably won't break like National Treasures football or anything that's going to cost $1,000, $1,500 a box. That's really bad situation in my. Yeah, exactly. It is crazy. I think people are just, everybody chases that big, exciting hit. And they're looking for that one card that they can flip and change their bank account. And, that's not why I do it. That's for sure. Definitely not collecting the Cleveland Browns. There ain't a player on the Cleveland Browns, or the Steelers for that matter, that's going to change my bank account. So, Dale Jr., Brandon Jones, Sammy Smith to 99, to 49, Brandon Jones. Out of 99, Dale Jr. Sam Mayer suited up. Dale Jr. one more time. Kaz Gralla to 99. Sammy Smith. And Tommy Joe Martins were the relics. We did have one SP Mojo Caden Honeycutt. And then our autos, Pandora Chris Buescher to 25. Signature Series Ernie Irvin. And a pair of Casey Kane, Signature Series and Optic Hollow. And then we had 4 SSPs. Kyle Busch, Black Border, 4 of 8. That went to Brian. We had the Austin Beers Gold, 1 of 10 rated rookie, goes to Chris. Like I said, that one's really nice, really well centered. That's in really, really nice shape. We got the Gold Ice Spellbound 4 of 10. Dale Jr. going to Storm Ghost. And last but definitely not least, 1 of 10 Gold Ice Dialed In Shane Van Gisbergen auto. Going to Will. That's super nice. So congrats to everybody. Like I said, if you received autos or relics, just know that I'm going to hold shipping on this break, and I'm also going to hold shipping Saturday night from the NT break, and we'll ship everything on Monday so that some folks can piggyback onto some free shipping or included shipping with that Sunday mixer, because shipping on Sunday won't be included. It's a little bit bigger mixer and a lot more hits, and it's just harder to plan it, so it's just easier to not include it in that. And so, anyway, so that's the plan for the weekend. Hope everybody has a great Friday. TGIF, about 45 minutes from now for me. Yeah, that's all I got for now. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you all next time.